to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, what is going on? Welcome to a very, very cold morning. My goodness. Oh, man, it's colder than it was yesterday by at least 3 degrees, but it feels like it's 20 degrees colder. Exponentially.
I thought my phone made a mistake. Ooh. I had to shake it. Is it telling me that really it's 41?
Wow.
It was 41 this morning.
I had shorts on. I was walking out to my car. Go, yep, let's go put some jeans on. It was bad for me.
It's chilly. It is chilly. Yeah, it feels like 40 outside right now. It's 44 degrees is what it says, and that is about 9 less actually than it was this time yesterday, and it's going to be a slow warm-up. So as you head out today, it's going to be mid-40s, high 40s by 10 a.m., and you're not going to see anything really warm at all today. The highest temperature is going to get to 64, and that's about 3 p.m. today.
Ooh, I like that, though.
Perfect pool weather.
Yeah. Oof. So,
you need to get that pool heater.
They're not cheap.
I know.
And everyone sent me hate emails. It's too expensive. What are you talking about? Yeah, it was very controversial.
It's a great investment. Those people don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
There are several months out of the year when you can use it.
Okay, Virginia spoken. Get on it, Bert.
All right.
Yeah. You're everything that I'll never be, so your pool is kind of like all my dreams of a pool.
Well, I'm still waiting for your floaties. You keep on talking, I got these floaties for you, Bird.
They're in my car.
Okay.
They've been in my car.
Perfect for the summertime.
So you bought floaties before you bought the pool?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was real stupid.
Okay.
if you, I don't know if you heard the heartbreak story about her pool, how much money she lost on that. For just basically, you paid all that money for a no.
I know, and I could sue my HOA, and I've talked to a guy about that. I actually talked to him 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And he's interested in taking the whole case, and it requires a lot of looking at bylaws and then filing things and just all this paperwork, and it's just I've done so much already with the $7,000 I had to pay to get the stupid
it's a $7,000 no is really what it was.
It's a $7,000 no.
That's $7,000
because
gone.
the chick in the office of my HOA told me to do it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
She must not like you.
She's awful, and if I see you on the street, Connie, you're in trouble.
Oh, Connie.
That's a threat.
Look
we shouldn't
out.
do that. As your lawyer, I advise you to stay away from those kind of words.
You're in trouble, too.
Why am I in trouble? I'm your lawyer.
Well, coming up here on the KVJ show today, we got a lot of stuff to do, including wrap up Plead the 5th. Final person hops on the hot seat today. That person would be Suits. So he is going to get grilled today. He gets a pass on one of the tough questions. That is going to be coming up at 8:30 this morning.
And if the audience, the good people who listen to this program, if they want to submit some questions in our YouTube chat, we'll look at them because there's always some complaining about the questions.
All right, something you think he would not answer? Got World Record Wednesday coming up today. Am I the Jerk? Got a whole bunch of good stuff and a challenge for everybody today. What 4 pictures would sum up your high school starter kit? What really kind of summed you up? I posted mine, and they're up on the KVJ Show Twitter. It's a 1982 Toyota Tercel, a picture of a Motley Crue CD, Shout at the Devil, a box of Marlboro Lights, and a case of Natural Light.
Okay.
That would have been Kevin's high school starter kit.
Okay.
When you were in high school, did they have CDs out already, or was it still just okay?
I was CD. CD Jam. It came out in the early 90s. That's how I listened to all my music, was on CDs. So we'll get to that as well coming up here in just about 30 minutes. And at 9 a.m., we're going to tell the interesting story of Miami. Wrapping up that series. Let me just tell you, there's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, and murder.
Cocaine, murder, some crazy stuff. So if you've got an amazing Miami story, you can go drop it on the KVJ Show Facebook page right now. That's coming up at 9 a.m. this morning.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, we're hearing some more sad details about Dustin Diamond's final days. I guess he had been ignoring a lump in his neck that was there for a while. He was like, I don't know. I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want the attention. And he put it off and he put it off. And then finally, it was his manager that said he had aches and pains all over his body. And he just felt so out of sorts that he finally went to the emergency room. And then they're like, dude, it's stage 4. Like, man, you could have maybe caught this earlier. So that's a wonderful, wonderful lesson, though, for all of us. Maybe that can be his legacy, that, you know, if you see lumps that weren't there, or if you feel pains that make you just uncomfortable, go see your doctor. Don't put it off because of COVID or anything. You know, go get those annual checkups that you're supposed to be getting. Jeopardy has announced that they will be having more upcoming guest hosts. Anderson Cooper is going to do a little stint along with Dr. Oz. Savannah Guthrie is going to do it along with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. They're all going to, Gupta is going to come on there. I love Gupta. I love him. He talks about really interesting stuff about the brain.
Oh, yeah?
He's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be probably getting us through quite a few months with all of these celebrity guest hosts. No word yet on when they plan to name a long-term permanent host. And finally here, Dolly Parton has revealed her Super Bowl commercial. It's a little remake of 9 to 5.
Okay, so what's going on with how, the Super Bowl commercials, let's go ahead and show them all 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They don't reveal them during the Super Bowl anymore.
No,
they do them ahead of
while.
time now.
It's stupid. That's dumb.
They're trying to get like more views before the Super Bowl, and then they know they're going to get the Super Bowl views. And
Right.
It's all kind of annoying.
they've been doing it for a few years, so it must have some scientific validity.
Yeah, I think because it is called a Super Bowl commercial, it carries that cachet, and people think it's going to be something special and extraordinary, so people pay attention, and it's getting more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in your dirt.
You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen that video. It was going viral yesterday, and we didn't talk about it. I think she's British. She's on this video. She goes, "My daughter just called me in here to tell me about her spider problem." And it pans to the corner of this little girl's bedroom, and it looks like hundreds of spiders running around her ceiling. And then she goes, "That's not the only problem." Then my daughter says, "Mom, look over there." And she pans to the camera to the other corner. And there's even that many more spiders there just running around amok, owning the bedroom. It was very creepy. It made me think of our sweet Denny's. If Denny's was to ever have a situation like that, I think he would faint.
Yeah, he's really scared of spiders.
So I was going through the list here. I had a terrible rat problem at one point where they got in my house. I remember you talking about how when you were a little kid, you had a roach problem.
That's true.
And then you got this spider problem with this woman with that video. Out of the three, what would be the worst problem to have? A massive spider issue, a massive rat problem, or a massive roach? What would be the worst?
Rat, spider, or roach. Gosh, they're all awful.
You wake up and then you see a ton of this in your room or your kitchen.
I guess rat, because they're just the biggest. But they're all awful. I mean, are these spiders poisonous? That'd be awful.
I don't think you know. But I think a spider that's got a little fur or hair on it makes it that much more worse. So
fuzzy spider.
These spiders are fuzzy.
Oh, boy.
I think out of the three, I'd rather have the roach problem.
Think so?
Yeah, I think the roach problem is the most doable. on your psyche.
But the thing about the roach is you can have an exterminator come in there and blow everything to smithereens and still have a roach problem.
If your neighbor has a roach problem, or if you live in an apartment, or it can spread from house to house. And even if you bomb your place, my guy came the last time he came because I found one roach and I flipped out. He put this peanut butter looking stuff like in all kinds of little areas in the cabinet, and I had never seen this before. I always just saw him spray that liquid around the baseboards, but now he put this peanut butter looking stuff, and I haven't seen a roach since.
Yeah, that stuff works, man. When they come in and do that kind of stuff, I went through a rodent service, and it was the worst experience. Not only did they only give me one of those sticky things for the rat, you know, that it looks like a glue lake.
It's a glue thing, so they don't die. They just stick to it and wither away.
I guess they're supposed to die. I don't know. All I know is
well, they die eventually from starvation. But so would you if we put you on a sticky pad for 2 months.
The first rat that I had caught, it got caught in that glue stuff. And I remember I opened the door. I'm like, all right, cool, it's dead. And I'm not kidding. It lifted up its head and went, ah! And we locked eyes with each other. I closed the door really quick, like this thing's going to come after me and run out. It can't move. It didn't die. We had to get rid of it.
That's terrible.
It was awful. And I was paying for that.
Denny's had to step in and take care of the situation. And he's scarred for life.
Sweet Denny's has never been the same. And I kid you not.
He never recovered.
It's heavy, Kevin.
The worst out of those three.
We can't even tell you on the radio what happened next.
No, we can't.
Wow.
We can't say it.
Between spider, rat, and roach, easily rat's the worst problem.
Amen.
Okay. What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
I'm struggling with the question, and maybe you guys can help me. So I haven't seen my grandma in several months, and I like to go visit her at least once a year, preferably twice a year, just to, check in with her. She's very lonely. All of her siblings have passed away. She's living in a senior home in Kentucky. She's not from Kentucky. She's from New York. She's very much a New Yorker. And, she has trouble assimilating with Kentucky people, which, when you're old and set in your ways, that's to be expected.
Yeah, and, their sensibilities, I think, are a lot different.
Yes. She can't believe that they eat biscuits and gravy every day for breakfast. She's like, it's disgusting.
Oh, man. That's 100%.
There's so many weight issues. She can't believe it.
I would say it's a positive for Kentucky.
So I want to go see her. Now, she has had her double dose of the vaccine, which I'm so happy about. Is it okay if I go see her now? I'm cool, right?
Well,
I don't understand how all this works. And somebody asked me this yesterday. Once you get your vaccine, do you still have to wear a mask? And I was like, I don't know.
What I'm seeing right now is that you should.
You should.
Yeah, and look, I don't know. I only know what people are saying, what they're encouraging you to do, and then the people who are very upset with what they're encouraging you to do. So, it seems like we still are kind of in this holding pattern, just waiting to get more people vaccinated. The fact that she is encouraging. And I think it's all about how you're set. And, her being of advanced age, then that is something that gives you a little extra pause and caution. And so I think it always depends upon who's in the scenario that you're talking about as to how cavalier you are with COVID.
And how would that work, too, if you go out in public, let's say you got vaccinated and you don't want to wear a mask, there's going to be people who don't want to wear a mask who are going to say they're vaccinated anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
How are you going to prove that?
Mm-hmm. The one thing that I did see today is Fauci is saying that there is still a very high risk of getting infected with a new variant of COVID-19, even if you have already had the original virus, and he's urging all Americans to get vaccinated as soon as possible. And they believe that vaccine will cover you from the other variants.
But they don't know for sure.
That's kind of where I'm reading. That's why, I would hate to tell anybody to rush in there and say, she's
hug on grandma.
She's had the vaccine, and, so like I said, I the scenario changes if you're talking about your 30-year-old sister.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead. Go for it. It'd
right.
be fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But, when it's a 90-plus-year-old grandma, then I don't know.
All right. I'll stay put.
Yeah.
Maybe when I have my vaccine, then I can go.
We don't have the answers for you. Stop asking us questions. We don't know.
I want to plan. You know me, I'm a planner. I want to plan. I miss my grandma. I want to go see her and hug her.
Positive K, going to give you a good spin of an answer, but we don't know.
Well, a lot of the planners are, this is where a lot of people are this year because you've got things that have been canceled. I was even reading about what weddings are going to look like in 2021, and people are trying to set dates for things like this that got canceled in 2020, and it's just that I don't know factor, especially when you're talking about a wedding with a guest list that goes anywhere from young kids all the way to 90-year-old grandmas.
Amen.
What do you do and how do you handle it? And it really just, I guess, depends upon how quickly we get everybody vaccinated and then waiting to see, hey, how's this vaccine working? What's going on with the numbers? The good thing was the number of new cases in the U.S. was down nearly 45% from its peak on January 8th. That was as of this last week. So that is good. So nationally, the numbers are dropping. In Florida, we're still kind of holding on and doing all right.
We're high achieving?
Well, overall, we're still 23rd in the country for cases, 25th for deaths. So we're still kind of right in the middle with stuff. And again, like I said, it really just depends upon what you're talking about. 6.4% of the population of Florida has been vaccinated.
We're 23 in COVID, but I think we are in the top 5 for shark attacks and lightning strikes. So
number
we got
one for shark attacks.
Number 1, so we got that.
Yeah. And number 1 for lightning strikes.
Number 1?
Believe so, yeah.
Wow.
Yay, we're number 1.
We're number 1.
Face eaters, number 1.
Definitely number 1 for face eaters.
Yeah. We got a lot of number 1s that are in that category.
Thank you for spinning that into a positive.
You're welcome, yeah. So I'm seeing some encouraging numbers that are going on. So, but I guess you just probably still have to pump the brakes on the plans. What I have got on my mind here today, I always love to see when something new is coming out, and a lot of our listeners had suggested Lupin on Netflix. It is the first French language original series that Netflix had done, and it reached top 10 status. And they did season 1, 5 episodes, and where it ends, it's a cliffhanger. You clearly have to have season 2. And the annoying thing and the question is, okay, well, when do I get season 2? Because what I don't like right now with some of these series, and I was just thinking about Outer Banks yesterday.
I love Outer Banks.
Right, but I started thinking about the storylines and the names, and it's starting to grow fuzzy in my mind. I assume it will hopefully be out a new season in the summertime.
I bet you they're filming it now. I bet you anything they are. Because that was huge.
It was very huge for Netflix. But the question is, it seems like as soon as you get to the next season, then you're like, okay, what exactly is going on in this thing? So I've got some release dates here for you. If you're talking about Lupin, Part 2 is going to be dropping this summer, which is the good news. You don't have to wait as long. That was one that just recently came out, but they're going to be dropping Part 2, and it's going to have 5 episodes just like Part 1 did. So I think they're going to hopefully at least resolve that storyline. So if you're one of those people that suggested that to me, then that's the good news. Outer Banks is going to be returning for season 2 at some point in 2021.
Yeah, they started filming, it says, in 2020. So production was already taking place. They're bringing it back. I'm so excited.
Yeah, but we don't have a definite date on when that is going to drop. So
you would like that, Jay Bird. You would like Outer Banks.
You've told me this many a times. When you watch Usual Suspects, I'll watch Outer Banks. That's the deal.
All right, well, come over and have a Usual Suspects party.
Okay, I'll bring my Netflix account.
All right, coming up here on the KVJ show, a TV debate erupted with Jay Bird and Denny's. You're talking about Dustin Diamond's passing. So who's better, Screech or Urkel? Who had the better run?
Who's the most popular? And I would say take out the cloudiness of the passing of Dustin Diamond and just go with Screech versus Urkel. who's the more popular nerd?
Okay, we'll get your thoughts. We'll also check in with the Twitter poll we got up right now where you can go and cast your vote. Who is the more popular character, Screech or Urkel? We'll debate next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
A couple of comments about whether you can see your over 90-year-old grandmother because she's been vaccinated, but you have not, Virginia. Somebody said that they would not let you into the facility to see your grandma. Nobody's allowed in, especially from out of state. The vaccine does not make everyone safe, is what one text message says here.
That's all we need is one text.
That's it. That's one person's opinion to chime into the conversation according to what they think they've seen. I am seeing that people are still encouraged to wear masks right now after they get the vaccine. I think that we just want to be safe, see what the numbers do. When we get to a certain point, then they'll be like, okay, hopefully you can unmask and go live your life.
You also don't want to be in a fight with Karen at the checkout at Publix because she's like, why aren't you wearing a mask? And then you got to explain you already been vaccinated.
I'm wondering, where we're going to get to that because of the technology, one, to put the vaccination record on your phone to scan. And will it be to the point where you just need to wear a placard around your neck or a T-shirt saying, I've been vaccinated, for those kind of people that are going to scream at you? Somebody texted and said, my wife works for a doctor and they are currently vaccinating people and they give you a vaccination card after you've gotten the shot that you can carry around whenever you've been vaccinated. But then do you keep it in your wallet or would you hang it around your neck so that everybody could see, okay, I'm cool, right? I'm good.
I think you should wear it like a backstage pass.
Yeah. So we'll see. The White House has announced they're going to start shipping coronavirus vaccines directly to retail pharmacies alongside ongoing deliveries to states next week. So hopefully those numbers will really start picking up and getting people vaccinated so we can knock those numbers down, get on with life. So we'll see. All right, got a debate here. Talked a little bit about Dustin Diamond with his passing this week from stage 4 cancer. And Jaybird and Denny's were debating. Who is the better character? The one that Dustin Diamond played on Saved by the Bell with Screech, or would you go with Family Matters Urkel?
Now, I think there's a couple questions to ask here. Better and more popular. To me, the better character is Urkel. No disrespect to Dustin Diamond or Screech, but I think Urkel is just a better character overall. I think he had more depth to him, too.
More entertaining. And Josie on Twitter made a good argument. I would say definitely Urkel, just because the show is basically built around him. Screech was just a sideline character.
That's a good point.
One was the king of Friday night. The other was the king of Saturday morning. I mean, I hear what they're saying about Screech being part of an ensemble kind of a cast like that, but he still was arguably the most popular on that show.
Okay, but somebody else also brings up, did he have a catchphrase like Urkel's, did I do that?
He did have a catchphrase.
He did.
I thought he did, yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't stick in your brain, so if you're saying who had the better catchphrase, I'm going with Urkel on that, Virginia. The recall's definitely better.
I think Urkel, definitely.
His was zoinks!
That's terrible.
It's pretty awful.
And didn't Shaggy from Scooby-Doo already have that catchphrase?
No, he's plagiarizing Shaggy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see a guy for his passing get the benefit of the doubt, but 71% of KVJ Nationers responding to our impromptu poll right now on Twitter said that Urkel is the more popular, better TV character.
Wasn't there an episode where Urkel was going to join a gang? It was one of those very special episodes, kind of like how Saved by the Bell had a very special episode about drugs where Jesse was eating the caffeine pills. And she's getting all hooked on the caffeine.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I'm so excited. It's a famous, you guys know that one. I'm so excited.
I've seen the replay of it. Yeah, thankfully I never really spent a lot of time watching that show.
You didn't miss it. Saved by the Bell is pretty awful.
I remember this is a dumb show.
My nerds are Lewis and Gilbert. Those are the best nerds of all time.
Pretty good. Revenge of the Nerds.
You know what was kind of interesting? I was doing something for the show. I think it was last night or the night before. And I know what it was. I've got this thing now where I started losing socks. I don't know how.
It happens to everybody, Kevin.
And so,
as the woman that does the laundry, let me tell you, they just disappear.
And so now I started safety pinning my socks together.
You'll show them.
And I was like, okay, does this make me a nerd? And then I started thinking, I don't think that's the right term anymore. I think it's changed. Because when I was in high school, a nerd was somebody that would wear the broken glasses with the tape, pocket protectors. They had a uniform and they were smart, but they were completely not cool. That's what a nerd was.
Brainiacs that couldn't land chicks. It was they struggled with the social part of life.
And it wasn't a good thing. If somebody called you a nerd, that was bad. And I think it's kind of switched, and I don't even know what the proper word would be today if you wanted to, in a sense, say something insulting, because nerd has almost become somebody that knows a lot about something. They're intelligent, maybe they're quirky, maybe could even be cool, like the Nerdist podcast and things like that. A nerd, you could be a Star Wars nerd, you could be a this nerd, you could be a that nerd.
And you can still be very hip.
Yes, and nerd almost has a different connotation now where it didn't feel right. I was like, that's a dated term on using nerd.
Even the term geek doesn't hold the punch in you. I mean, you could be a hot, gorgeous geek.
I was trying to think, so what is that word? If I were throwing that out there, because I wanted to be a little bit more cutting, I was like, well, people are probably going to hit me up with nerd isn't really what you think it is, Grandpa.
Maybe dork. I don't think dork is sexy.
Goober.
I think dork, because I started looking it up. I'm like, well, what would the term be? And dork was kind of a lovable, like you're funny, like you're such a dork. You know, but you're cute, and it used the word cute in the definition, because I was on Urban Dictionary trying to find out, okay, so what is that word today? We had one in my generation for what the nerd is, and maybe that's just it. We don't bully anymore, so there is nothing that is cutting and negative.
We don't bully anyone unless it's on social media.
Yeah.
Out of all the words we said, I would say dork would be the most cutting, but that's still nothing.
Well, if you had Urkel today, when he was on TV, you called him a nerd. What would you call Urkel today? Is it still a nerd?
What about this one? This one's more insulting. Look at Urkel. He looks like a dweeb.
Okay,
dweeb.
Is that still around?
I think people
Is it still used?
Yeah, people that are in their 40s and older.
That's right. I didn't know. What is the word if, Urkel were on TV today and people were describing Urkel is such a what is he? Is he still a nerd, or is there a different term that you would use to describe him? If you got any insight, you can let us know. 877-979-WRMF. It's all trending topic on Twitter. Your high school starter kit, 4 images that really, if you were dropped back into high school, what would get you going on day one? The most 4 important things that kind of summed up what you were. And as I started putting mine together, I'm going, gosh, I was a scumbag. My starter kit for high school, if I look at what I was in the prime, 1982 Toyota Tercel, which is what I drove around. You'll see it on KVJ TV.
That thing pairs real nice with the mullet.
It's terrible. I mean, I look at this like, what a dirt bag.
Did that car come with a carton of cigarettes?
It should have. That thing was terrible. And that's what I was driving around every day while I was listening to that Motley Crue Shout at the Devil CD.
Seems right.
It definitely does fit. We were smoking Marlboro Lights, Marlboro 100s, because you got more bang for your buck.
You really were douchey.
And then we loved our natural light, Natty Light.
That's the douche starter kit.
I mean, it's terrible. I look at it like, well, that's so awful that really sums up what my high school was, but there's nothing more accurate.
But you were living your best life in Logan.
I thought I was having a great time.
You
I'm like,
probably
those
were.
4 things, my car, my Motley Crue CD, my Marlboro Lights, and my Natty Light, that was all I needed. But you could see I was responsible as a child because I smoked light cigarettes and I drank light beer. So
you were a diet pansy even then?
I was, yeah. So, I was thinking about my health, even back as a reckless teenager. 4 images that would sum up your high school starter kit. Virginia, what would be your list?
Okay, so for the car, I have my 1973 Sweet Mustang.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be a car for everybody, just to let you know.
Well, I like what you did. I think yours all encompassed. So I'm kind of, piggybacking off of what you did.
Okay.
The car was the woman.
I think when you're in high school, at least in my era, having a car, being a car, that was it. That was your freedom. That got you everywhere. That was the key to your social life.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also had a case of beer, but mine was Busch beer.
That's terrible, too.
In my circle, they loved Busch beer. There was several dudes in my circle that got Busch beer tattoos.
Really?
I'm not even kidding you. On Halloween, they would cover themselves in Busch beer boxes and go as Busch robots. Like, they loved Busch beer.
How many of those people today regret terribly?
I hope they don't. I still talk to them on Facebook.
Okay.
Busch beer was our life.
Sure. Okay.
Also, the CD Straight Outta Compton, NWA. I loved it.
Okay.
And then last, I would have a big baggy outfit borrowed from my friend Rebecca, whose mom worked at the Limited. Her mom had the best clothes because she worked at the Limited, and we borrowed all of her clothes to go to like dances and to the mall, and we looked tight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bird, you have 4 images that sum up your high school starter kit.
I had to edit so many of them down because most of them were food items. So I just went with the one.
It's all food?
Well, it was a big part of my life. Microwavable
Still is.
I go microwavable cheeseburgers because that kind of says exactly where my head was at. I led the league in microwavable dishes. Whether it was a corn dog or a pizza, but the cheeseburger ones, my mom would get these big-ass cheeseburgers from Costco, and they'd come in an 8-pack, and they'd be gone within a day.
Well, y'all had a lot of people in the house.
But I ate all those cheeseburgers. Like I'll take ownership. A picture of a CD mix of the most depressing songs. And I graduated in 1995, and on that mix would still be songs from the 70s. So I was even listening to old depressing stuff back in the mid-90s.
You kind of got a lot of the same stuff going on.
I haven't
Your high school starter kit could be your starter kit today.
I haven't evolved at all. You got to throw in a baseball glove because baseball was a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
I won't do car. What I'll do is I'll do terrible faded haircuts. I could not get it together in high school. I didn't know what a fade was, but I knew that I liked it. And when I would go to the barber shop, I'd get nervous on how to describe it because I didn't know what I was like, just make it where there's a line, but the line's gone, and they never knew what I was talking about. So I had the worst faded haircuts in high school. Terrible. Never could get the line out.
If I had a 5th image, mullet would be.
Yeah,
which just adds to the overall beauty of the entire. I mean, just the visual.
The mullet is sweet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked to see you not go with the mullet in your 4.
The other 4 ranked higher. You know, the mullet you didn't think about. It wasn't like you wore it around with pride. The mullet means more today than it did then. It was just the hairstyle you wore. As fashion and time went on, it got worse and worse.
I mean, the 1989 Sunbird, that was honorable mention. I became a man in that car.
Yeah, I know, yeah. The Asher and Simpson, solid as a rock.
I did.
Yeah, that's what you were. Solid as a rock. Interesting to see what other people were saying. There are 4 images for their high school starter kit. Angie said weed, glasses, manic panic, and pizza rolls. Okay.
Pizza rolls, I can feel you on that, Angie.
Toss, she said, no strings attached album, AIM flare jeans, and K-Swiss sneakers. Babsy said Cisco neon rubber bracelets, What Frankie Says shirt, and Trans Am.
What Frankie Says shirt.
Dang. Okay. You know, you pretty much can nail almost a year by hearing what the 4 items are in people's high school starter kits.
Totally.
Big time.
Meredith said flannel shirts, Honda Civic, Camel Lights, and Ice House.
I feel like that would be...
She's younger than us.
Early 90s flannel shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd have been the grunge era. Interesting stuff. All right, well, you can jump on the KVJ show. Social media, we got that on Twitter right now. What are the 4 images in your high school starter kit? Our celebrity birthdays today include Sean Kingston. Been a little while since we heard from him. 31 years old today. Daddy Yankee is 44. Gasolina. Isla Fisher from Wedding Crashers is 45. Done a couple other things. And Nathan Lane from Virginia's favorite movie, Birdcage, is 65.
I love him. He's so good.
He is an entertaining gentleman. He really is. Also, happy birthday goes out to my twin brother, Alex, who lives in London. Cheers, mate. Love you and happy birthday. That's Tanya from Miami sending that out. Also, happy 13th birthday to our beautiful, caring daughter, Avery, from Mom, Dad, Bella, Cena, and Pita. Small little photo there for you to check out on KVJ TV.
Cutie.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Okay, sometimes people will say, well, you're kind of a jerk. And you're like, why? Really? I'm being a jerk? It's kind of interesting how people will judge you, but that's what we do here on the KVJ show. If you have gotten hit with that recently and you're wondering if you are a jerk or how big of a jerk, we'll even give you a rating on, okay, you're a little jerky. You can send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com. The first email that we got came with a photo that I have since posted up on the KVJ Show Facebook page so that everybody can kind of rein in if this person is a jerk or not, because they got shamed. They gave their puppy a red mohawk and posted the photo on social media. They said, I put gel in his hair and red food coloring, but some people are saying that that's cruelty to animals. They threatened to call SPCA on me and all these kind of things and turn me in. And so they just wanted to know, am I a jerk or not? And majority of the people are saying, no. Where's the cruelty? It's cute. You're not hurting your dog in any way.
As long as you're not hurting the animal, you think the dog cares if it's got a mohawk or anything? Give the dog a perm if you want.
Well, the dog doesn't know he's got a mohawk. And as long as you've done it without using any harsh chemicals, which if you use like a Kool-Aid dye and you just style it with some gel, it's not hurting him. So I don't understand what the big brouhaha is.
There's not, but don't you just hate that when you have a cool, funny photo you want to post up and there's just one person who just takes a big old dump on your post and everybody else is having fun with it?
Kind of like when you have like your kid in a dryer just for a little fun joke.
Right.
And then people get all mad.
He's going to die.
You did that a long time ago, and it was such a funny photo. And of course, Kevin, this is not funny. Do you know how many people
almost
died?
got canceled? Yeah, people wanted to turn me into children's services and all that kind of stuff.
Kevin almost got canceled
I know.
again.
I know. I remember.
Always trying to cancel Ralston.
Okay, so you're not a jerk on that. Got another email here. Somebody wants to remain anonymous because apparently their family listens. You know what that's like, Bird?
Yes.
They want to know, am I the jerk for not complying with my sister's COVID demands? I've got a sister who lives in Georgia, and that's close enough. She's a flight attendant, and she's going to be flying in to see myself and family for a week between her flights. And whenever she stays with us, there's always some kind of negative energy or aura. You know that kind of person?
Yes.
She has an extremely difficult personality. Well, one of those people that you need to filter everything that you say before you actually say it is her, and it's actually quite daunting being around her for more than a day or two. I've got 3 kids, and I told her that she's coming here for entertainment. It's not going to happen. I got to take the kids to school, get myself ready for work, and after work, I got to take the kids all their after-school activities, followed by dinner, cleaning, all that kind of good stuff. I myself am ready for bed at 9:30. She said she's okay with that. Anyway, I usually work part-time. I offered to take her back to her hotel on a Friday when I'm scheduled to be off. However, my schedule changed and I can't take her. So I asked her if she could take her in the morning before my work. And she said no, because it conflicts with my schedule is what she said. I said, well, then you can just take an Uber. She said, no, I'm not taking an Uber because I'm scared of COVID. Did you or did you not fly on an airplane in here? She said the air circulates and everybody wears a mask. I said, true, but what about these passengers and what they did before they boarded the plane, where they've been? You can't control that. Walking through the airport, hell, even leaving your house puts you at risk. She then said that she doesn't want to pay for an Uber. And I said, look, I'll pay for it. And she refused. Then she came at me saying how she's worried because if there's no mask mandate, I don't wear one and she doesn't want to risk getting COVID. Sigh. So I said, you're right. I don't wear a mask when I don't have to, and if you're scared, you should stay the F home. Am I the jerk for standing my ground in every one of these aspects? I feel bad, but I don't.
You shouldn't have said stay the F home. You just should have said stay home. I don't think you should come. There's no need to curse at your sister. She's obviously a nimwit. But just say, look, it's not the right time. Please don't come.
Okay.
You use nimwit. I go with dimwit. I guess it's different parts of the country, different strokes, different folks.
I use Tim Witt. That's a guy I went to high school with. We all got our own thing, right? Okay, somebody want to know, am I the jerk for not seeing my dying dad?
Oh.
It seems harsh to say that I don't care that my father is dying, but I don't know him. He abandoned my brother and I when we were children. My brother and I both attempted to reach out to him over the years, but he has another family with 4 other children. I got a message that he's probably going to be dead in a few days and that maybe I should come home to New York to say goodbye. What? Really? Say goodbye to who? A man I know nothing about? A man I have 2 or 3 memories of? Why would I? It's weird, right? I'm not being a jerk. It's absolutely weird at this point, correct? What's going to happen? I'm going to show up. He'll see me and maybe feel regret and shame. Why would I put that on him now? He can spend his remaining time with the family he knows and loves. If he has any conscience, it would probably destroy him to see his firstborn son now, grown. I ain't about all that. Am I the jerk?
No, you have to follow your heart. If your heart's telling you don't go, don't go. Just really spend some time with it and reflect and make sure that you're not going to regret it later. If your answer is no, then you're not required to go.
Bottom line, no matter what you decide isn't going to be the wrong answer.
Right.
Because your dad wasn't there for you. You reached out. He didn't want anything to do with you. You tried. You're not a jerk if you don't go.
Right. It doesn't seem like there's a specific request where he's saying, please, please, this would make my whole life to have you show up. That's not on the table. That's not there. So you're not the jerk at all. And even then, it's still your choice.
And I know some people are like, oh, forgive. You got to forgive. But, you know, for some other people, they're going to think, no, you're not going to just at the very end get your everything's okay card because it's on your terms.
And you don't get to tell an abandoned child how they should forgive or not forgive. If they don't want to, they don't have to.
And on the other end, if you did go see him, I don't think that's wrong either because there's a spiritual side to that for your own psyche.
Yeah, it's for you.
Yeah, it's for you.
Whatever you do, do it for you.
And without a request coming from the dying dad, I don't even think this is a debate. You're not a jerk. If he were begging and pleading and you were still like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. Then we could maybe debate that maybe you're slightly being a jerk. But without that, not at all, my friend. All right, there we go. Nobody's jerky today.
Well, I didn't want to say anything about Virginia, but
Just wait. It's coming.
Okay. All right, we've got a World Record Wednesday coming up here. If Bird would stop hurting himself.
Oh my gosh, there is so much soap in the studio.
That's part of the whole thing
It
we're doing.
reeks. I'm allergic to this kind of soap.
You are.
It's highly perfumed and cheap. I can smell it. It's cheap soap.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a cheap bit. It
remember
wasn't actually a cheap bit.
I remember you telling me about that one boss you had about laughs per minute. That one boss.
Oh, yeah, that was in the podcast I was talking
What
about.
about bitching per minute?
We are good at that, yeah.
BPMs?
BPMs, or bitches per minute. Yep, we're definitely high on that. Got a world record for Guinness for stacking 47 bars of wet soap in 1 minute.
Uh-oh.
That's why there's so much soap, Virginia.
Don't pick up the soap.
Time for World Record Wednesday. Jaybird shocked the world and set a world record today. That's what we're going to try to find out here. This is a super clean bit. It's all about soap, baby.
Ooh, it is strong.
It's so strong.
I think I'm allergic to Dial soap, too. Dial is some cheap-ass soap.
It is. It's pungent.
Ooh. It smells like some of Virginia's lotion.
Oh,
That old lady grandma lotion.
Yeah.
I have designer lotion.
Designer old lady.
It is from the grandma collection.
Okay, we've got the world record set of 47 bars of wet soap being stacked in 1 minute. Now, according to Guinness, the bars of soap have to soak in water for at least 1 minute before the attempt. And it was 2 men that had to alternate stacking the bars. So this is a team event.
I was ready to go solo. I didn't want to put that burden on y'all. But World Record Wednesday, I thought we were all in it together.
Yeah, well, it looks like for this one, it is 2 men that are doing it.
All right, so whatever you want to do, I'm ready to play.
We need another man.
Where are we going to find one of those?
No.
Virginia, although it didn't. Last week was a disaster. Her throwing things in my mouth.
I was amazing at throwing popcorn.
Well, you got a couple options here. I mean, you could go Virginia. She's free and easy. Denny's is all about being free and easy.
Denny's is all about speed, fire.
I saw the video a few times too, so I think I know the technique.
Beautiful.
What would you say is the technique? How do you stack wet soap?
It's tough, but one person just stood there and kind of held it in place. While the other person stacked it.
Okay.
One person was stacking and one was holding.
Who do you think would be better at stacking, Virginia? Who'd be better at holding it in place?
I think Denny's would be better at holding it in place, and Jay Bird would be better at stacking.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, that's Virginia. Coach Virginia over there has spoken.
Because Jay Bird will go fast, and Denny's will be like the cleanup.
He's the anchor.
He's putting everything in alignment.
Yeah, I love it. All right, this feels good, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
Right? No?
Right? Yeah, it feels great.
47 is the record in 1 minute. We typically chop that in half to start talking about what would be KVJ respectable. So, maybe 23. Let's knock that to 20.
We're going higher.
Okay, that's the question.
Me and Danny's are going to get real high.
I'm gonna set it at 20. The over under at 20. These are the betting lines.
Okay,
here.
20. That's a lot.
Virginia, you going over or under 20?
I'm going over.
Okay, there's something in the air. I don't know. There's an atmosphere being cooked up here.
Suit you over under on this. What do you think they're gonna do? Going over.
Freak. I like it. I like the confidence.
Maybe we've all got a soap buzz.
I definitely do.
This stuff is strong.
It's strong.
I think it's going to be really tough. I think this is a challenging challenge. Slippery soap. I can't stack 2. I really can't.
But you don't have Denny's as your aligner in the shower.
I get it.
You
but
could.
I think it's tough. I give it respect. I'm going under 20.
Under 20.
Under 20.
Back in 2005, you'd have said over.
Yeah, but I was drinking a lot more than that.
And you were younger and faster.
So are you.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You got 60 seconds on the clock. You can watch this on KVJ TV. Just go to YouTube, look for the KVJ show. It's also on demand, so you can get it anytime if you can't watch it live right now. Are we ready to go?
Ready.
So ready.
Guinness World Record is 47 bars of wet soap stacked in 1 minute. On your mark, get set, and go. All right, Bird is getting it out. Denny's is aligning it.
Where are we at?
Based on the soap, Denny's can use his hands to guide about 4 or 5 bars of soap. Now it's slipping and sliding, and it's falling all over the place. They seem like they can get easily to about 7 or 8 bars of soap.
Oh, boy.
And then it gets pretty slick, and they start sliding off.
Oh.
Okay, the most that they've got is 7 bars of soap. That is the highest they've got so far. They got 8, 9. Jaybird gets it to 10. Denny's puts 11.
Anchor me,
They're
anchor
at
me.
12 right now with 26 seconds left. Looks like they got about 16 bars of soap up to 17. They're getting close to that 20 mark.
Oh, come on.
And you
Anchor
got
me,
19 seconds left.
Hold me.
Oh, the whole tower topples over with
tight.
15 seconds
Hold
left.
me tight. Hold me
Right
tight.
at about 16 bars of soap stacked. It
Hold me
looks like
tight.
it's slipping. You're at 8 to rebuild a tower that fell over at about 7 bars of soap. Now 3, 2, 1, and time is up. Okay, you got to stop and hold. It's got to hold 1, 2, 3. What you got there is going to be what you get. You got 3, 6, 9, 10. Is that 11 bars of soap?
Damn it.
11.
11
At one
bars
point,
of
I feel
soap.
like we had like a 15.
You were up to about 16. I think that was the highest you got to 16, right around there.
Good. I'm glad I bought all 50 bars.
Yeah.
Not the cheapest of bits.
We're gonna be a clean show. Now, they use full big old bars of Dial soap, huh?
No, they didn't.
Oh,
They
okay.
used some weird other thing that you could not find anywhere in South Florida.
Oh, I'm looking at those bars of soap, and first of all, Dial, you got to deal with the smell. But look at those things. That's a curved bar of soap. You know how soap's normally flat on both sides? It is a concave.
So I went to the one store, and the soap was kind of in between where they were doing vaccinations for COVID.
Oh,
so I was trying to get the hell out of there.
What a worse product to buy.
Well, I buy the soap, and the old woman looks back. She goes, "What are you doing there?" I go, "I'm buying soap."
Wow. That's too funny.
You should have got ivory, maybe.
know.
Or
Should've,
something with
could've.
a block,
Yeah,
a solid
whatever.
block.
Whatever.
Well, you know.
All right, well, let's all take a shower.
Many mistakes have been made.
Good news, you have soap for like 8 years.
I'm not using this.
You're not?
What am I to do with all this?
Wash your balls? I don't know.
I mean, that's...
Gonna need more soap.
You do need to wash your balls.
Well, I mean, we all do. That's a PSA for everybody.
You're included, Virginia.
Thank you.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll try to find some use for that.
Underwhelming. Underwhelming.
You gave it your best.
I get it. It just wasn't good enough.
It's a challenge. What do you do with old bars of soap? I remember as a kid, my mom was so cheap. We would save bars of soap. They would get down to this nothing. And I remember always trying to wash, and they would force the bar soap on you, and it would be breaking into 2 or 3 different things. Then it gets stuck down in the drain, and you're trying to get it out of the drain. And my mom would bake it down, and it would take about 85 slivers of small soap to make a half a bar of regular soap. And then you'd have to use, you always knew, you'd look at it, it was this morphed, weird colored, like all these different shades.
That is thrifty.
It was so disgusting that when they finally came up with the stuff, the squeeze soap that you use, I was like, this is a whole new world for me, because I grew up with nightmare situations of old bar soap.
We had 9 people at our house at one point, and a lot of people used the same bar of soap, and we led the league in weird, strange hairs embedded in the soap.
PHs?
Probably PHs, Virginia.
We would always have that too. And what you would do, you'd have that weird hair and you try to get it out. And the worst feeling to me is if you ever dig down, because you couldn't get the hair off, and you would then use your fingernail, but then you get soap under your fingernail. And then you couldn't get the soap out from underneath your fingernail, and you wanted to use your tooth, but then you realize you just used your fingernail to get rid of somebody's odd pube. And you're like, I can't use my tooth on that. Using bar soap, I have so many scarred childhood memories.
The Pennington household had so many pubic hairs.
They're Italian. What do you want?
Wow. Okay, well, there you go. Got 11. That is a tricky world record to try to go for. They got 47 bars of soap in 1 minute.
You got to let him go to the bathroom because
Yeah.
he and Denny's are both covered in soap scum.
Need to go wash up. Mm-hmm. Coming up here, we got dirt, also some viral audio, including the audio. This woman made a TikTok video saying that LeBron James had cursed her out.
But she started it.
Interesting what she has got to say. We'll play the audio for her TikTok video coming up in your viral audio in a minute.
It's time for viral audio.
So had your kids, had your wife. Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Interesting stuff on TikTok yesterday. The woman that LeBron James had kicked out of the game with the Lakers at Atlanta against the Hawks the other day, she was courtside with her husband.
They're very fancy.
Yeah. That apparently had a little shouting match going on with LeBron. She started defending her husband, yelling at LeBron. She had said that he started swearing back at her and then had her and her husband kicked out of the game the other night. And I think LeBron had kind of said that I wasn't swearing at her. I just, basically said, shut up or whatever. And I think he had said he didn't ever kicked out.
I don't know. On TMZ, it says that they both swore at each other.
Well, I know. I'm just, can you see what LeBron had said? Because I think I'm just going on what I think LeBron had said. I don't think LeBron was vouching for her side of the story. And then on TikTok last night, there was a video that came out that somebody had made, and you can hear her swearing at LeBron. And then, unfortunately, they pan the camera to the sideline to show nothing. And then when they pan back to LeBron, you can hear he dropped an F-bomb at her and seemed to be saying what she claims he had said.
Now, let me throw this at you, because it is known as trick talk as well. When you slide that camera away from your focal point and come back, it's a real easy way to edit something in there.
He's right.
And make something tricky and not real.
Well, what you did see was LeBron's lips moving, and you heard what was coming out of his mouth, and there was the F word.
Still don't matter today, dog.
You think he did a deep fake on LeBron?
I think they both cursed at each other, and I think they both let themselves get a little too heated. I think the husband started it. And then when LeBron started jawing back at the husband, she jumped up to defend her sugar daddy man.
Okay, well, here she is making a TikTok video giving her side of the encounter with LeBron James.
I'm minding my own business, and Chris has been a Hawks fan forever. He's been watching the games for 10 years, whatever. He has this issue with LeBron. I don't have an issue with LeBron. I don't give a about LeBron. Anyway, I'm minding my own business, drinking my having fun. All of a sudden, LeBron says something to my husband, and I see this, and I stand up and go, don't talk to my husband. And he looks at me and he goes, sit the down. And I go, don't call me a you get the out of here. And I go, don't talk to my husband like that.
Mm-hmm. She sounds annoying.
Well,
Yes.
you fired up LeBron because the Lakers beat the Hawks.
Yeah.
So great job, dummy.
Yeah.
She
now
sounds annoying.
is apologizing after LeBron had called her a courtside Karen. So she took a majority of the heat on the courtside Karen.
What is she thinking? You're not going to win on this one.
He had tweeted out courtside Karen was mad.
And that's the response the Karen gave? Oh, come on. It's rough.
He said that it was basically at the end of the day, I'm happy fans are back in the building. I miss that interaction. We as players need that interaction. He said it was two grown men saying something when a courtside Karen jumped in.
Gosh, she sounded so annoying.
Yeah.
Please, don't
Yeah,
ever
there
play
you
it
go.
again.
She's defending her man, Jay Bird.
There's no way she didn't pop off. And yeah, I side with LeBron. After hearing that audio, Team LeBron.
Oh, something tells me she pops a lot.
Big time.
Yeah. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, Super Bowl coming up on Sunday in Tampa Bay. You got some of the prop bets going on. I'll let you know what some of them are, including the ones involving the weekend, possible guest appearances he might have during the Super Bowl halftime show. Who could that possibly be? And some interesting stats about Tom Brady. Which came first? Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win or Facebook? I don't know if anybody's going to be going to the game. I haven't talked to anybody yet. We're looking at some of the tickets and the prices. Thought, it's going to be steep because they only going to have 22,000 fans there in Raymond James Stadium.
You saw that went up, right?
The number is more than 22,000 now?
It's now 25.
Is it really? You kept saying it's going to keep creeping up.
This is from the NFL directly. It's now 25.
25,000.
I told you it was going to creep up.
Yeah, it's going to feel almost full. Well, they got the backing of our governor. He's like, yeah, go
He
ahead.
said open the whole thing.
Yeah.
And whenever there's money on the line like that, they're going to make as much as they can.
I guess if there's any good news on all that, it's dropping the ticket prices. They thought that they're going to be up a little bit more than they are. They say that the tickets are going for an average of $5,936.
Okay, that is down.
Yeah, the average from last year was $6,603, and that was, full stadium without the pandemic and all that kind of good stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is kind of affecting it and changing it. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a lot of superstition that goes into these games, and they say 13 of the last 16 Super Bowl champs have worn white jerseys. And Tampa Bay did an interesting move. I guess maybe they knew that, and they were going to be the home team, and so they actually chose to wear their whites. The decision marks only the fourth time in the last 15 Super Bowl matchups that the home team will wear their away jersey. So maybe they know that number of 13 of the last 16 have won wearing the white.
I bet you it has to do with Tom, too. If he won more in white, he's probably like, I'm going with white.
Yeah, I don't have that breakdown, but I do know that he has definitely won a lot. He's in his 10th Super Bowl now. I'm not sure how the jerseys have panned out, but if you go back to Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win, that was against the Rams in Super Bowl 36, February 3rd, 2002. Just to kind of give you a perspective of how long this guy's been doing it at a high level, the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tell me if this was even a thing when he won that game in 2002. Facebook.
It wasn't, actually. Because MySpace came first, and that was before. Yeah, it wasn't around, but Brady came first.
Okay. I'm going to say Brady. I'm going to say that you are right.
Wow, Brady beat Facebook?
Yeah.
Did he beat MySpace with that win? What was first? Brady's first Super Bowl win or MySpace? What do you think?
I think Brady's first win was actually. Yeah, MySpace was like 2003, I think.
He beat MySpace.
Wow.
What about the iPhone? What came first, Super Bowl win or iPhone?
Brady beat the iPhone.
Brady beat the iPhone.
Brady beat the iPhone. Yes, he did.
Damn. I didn't realize how old Brady is.
He's old. He's our age, or he's my age. You all are older. I forgot. You guys are real old.
What about YouTube? Brady's first Super Bowl win or YouTube? What came first?
Brady's Super Bowl did.
He beat YouTube. What about hashtags?
Definitely Brady beat that.
Yeah.
Brady did beat hashtags, yeah. How about the KVJ show?
He did not beat the KVJ show.
You're right. That is the only thing.
Sit down, Mitch.
That's right.
1999, bitches.
Gosh, that is how long that whole thing has been going on with him winning these Super Bowls.
He is a magical unicorn.
Yeah, he is.
You can't say nothing.
Yeah.
You can, especially if you're a Jets fan. They say a lot.
They got a bunch of those silly prop bets that are going off. You know, we're talking about how you can basically bet on anything when you're talking about the Super Bowl and some of the dumb stuff that they have out there that you can bet on is what color will the liquid be that is poured on the game's winning coach?
Ooh.
I'm betting orange.
Orange.
I'm
yeah.
going orange.
All the way.
Orange is second. 38% are going orange. Number one, odds-on favorite is red.
Red.
39% just edges out orange.
If it's Tampa, their color is red. That might be why.
We would make more money if we bet on orange.
Let's do it.
Let's bet on orange.
Okay, you got a lime, yellow, or green at 23%.
By the way, huge Gatorade fan.
Me
Love
too.
It. Love it.
I love the light colored Gatorade, like the lime or
Yeah.
the white. That white cherry.
That glacier one. That
glacier cherry.
If you get the glacier chair, I can't even talk. I get so emotional. Put it in your freezer for about 33 minutes so it gets sloshy. Oh, it's like a Gatorade slushy.
If you're hungover, nothing better.
Okay. Some other ones are about the performance that is going to be going on here during the Super Bowl. The Weeknd, of course, is doing the halftime show, and they are doing a prop bet on how many songs he is going to be able to perform. It's got about 12 to 13 minutes. The line is at 8. What do you think, the over-under? The Weeknd doing 8 songs. Are you going over? Are you going under?
Under, he does 7. Or they do 7.
Okay. The odds-on favorite right now is over. 67% say he's going to go over. 40 say under.
No, it's going to be orange Gatorade. It's going to be 7 songs. We're locking it in.
Okay. We will see on Monday how your prop bets do. Got one more category, and that is surprise guest during the halftime show with The Weeknd. Now, he has worked with a lot of these artists in the past. Do you think Ariana Grande will make an appearance?
No.
80% said no. Doja Cat?
No.
85% said no. Drake?
No.
86% said no. Kenny G?
Yes.
Kenny G will get out there and he will blow it.
Could you imagine if they had just Kenny G for the Super Bowl?
It would be unreal. The Weeknd and Kenny G winds up being the halftime show. I think on Monday, be like, what happened last night?
But if you just had Kenny G do the Super Bowl halftime show, he was the main artist, do you think people start fighting? Or do people accept it?
They start fighting Kenny G.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They attack him.
Be interesting to see that.
I think
a
people
guy
would,
running out of the stadium with an alto sax.
I think they would lose their mind if he was just the artist.
They put that alto sax where the sun doesn't shine.
Oh, yeah,
No, that would be a
and
halftime
then run him
show.
out of that big pirate ship.
That would be a halftime show.
Kenny would never make it out of there alive.
You know what's amazing? Kenny G has better odds of showing up with The Weeknd than both Doja Cat and Drake. And he's real close to Ariana Grande.
And I feel like there's no shot we're going to get Kenny G.
I wouldn't think so. I would think he would have the worst chances, but he actually has the second best chances. That's what people say.
I mean, there's got to be insider information. Somebody knows who's going to be there with him.
Oh, sure. I would imagine hopefully The Weeknd does. If not, that's going to be quite a surprise. Kenny G, what the hell are you doing here?
Everybody in the crew knows.
Yeah, they do.
If the NFL had a set of balls on them, they would book Kenny G next year for the halftime show. Just Kenny G.
Just Kenny
Just
G.
so people can beat him up.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see the ratings on that.
If your team is losing at halftime, you just take it out on Kenny.
It'd be a great troll job.
I just want to see what happens.
Yeah. For awesome reasons, that'd be great.
Okay, nobody tell Kenny what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Coming up here in a couple minutes, we're wrapping up Plead the Fifth. Only person that hasn't gone yet is Suits. He's going to get 3 really tough questions. He can only pass on one of them. So we got to bring it and make Suits sweat next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
This is the final chapter of Plead the Fifth. Everybody on the show has gone but Suits. So today he's got to weed through 3 tough questions and only can pass on one of these grilling questions.
Speaking of air frying, we're going to air fry Suits' ass right now.
Yeah,
You're on
we
a hot
are.
seat, son.
Yeah, we are.
I'm so nervous right now.
You should be.
Yeah, you should. Okay, we got some tough questions, and one that I know would come up for about anybody on the show, but Bird has got the first one here. We'll see if he's going to use his card right out of the chute or if he will take a pass.
Suits, who did you vote for the presidential election that just happened?
Damn!
Yeah!
Who did you vote for?
Bird brought that heat.
Piss off half our audience. Piss off half our audience.
Damn.
Yeah,
That
he
sucks
did.
because if I use the Plead the Fifth here, who knows what you guys are going to ask me.
You don't know.
That's why this is a crappy question.
Oh, Suits. You can't answer this.
Look, so
But I mean, what's coming though? If I use this on the first one,
That's just it. You don't know. That's why we're hitting you hard right out of the chute.
that
Hit
might-
him hard and stun him.
I told you we're going to
Yep.
air fry it.
well, he definitely followed through.
I can't believe no one else asked this question. This is the worst question.
It's the worst question.
It is the worst. Thanks for saving it, by the way.
And this temperature right now.
It's been thrown around behind the scenes for other people, but we saved it for you.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I feel like this is going to make so many people angry when I give the answer.
So many.
Because you know half the people are going to turn on me.
I mean, I hope you're not dating anybody.
I would love it if you go, yeah, guys, I voted for Kanye.
I would, but it's not the truth. I can't lie either.
Can't lie.
Well, stand here.
Because people will look it up.
They can find this. That's true. They can Google all this, though.
Yeah.
Well, they can't tell you who I voted for.
They can
They can
make
find out a lot, though.
They can make some educated guesses.
What do you think? Should you use that pass and plead the fifth right now, or are you going to tell us who you voted for president?
Sweet Suits, I'm so sorry.
He's sweating.
I know.
You should.
I would have hated to. This would be a tough question to answer.
It
It's a
would.
tough one.
I'm afraid of what you're going to throw at me, though. That's what I'm concerned about. If I can't use it on the first question.
Oh, no, dog.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Think it through.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Wow.
Too many people are going to attack me. You can't share a political opinion these days. You can't.
Right off the
Wow.
gate.
You
Yes.
got him.
We need
I
Suits.
can't do it. People will attack the hell out of me, and it doesn't matter who you say.
Well, yeah, even you not answering is going to piss people off. Well, I can't just say who you voted for.
What are you, some kind of softie?
You
I tried it.
snowflake.
Well, maybe I should answer that.
No.
Maybe they're talking me out of this.
No, stand your ground. I think
Dude,
it's smart.
People will forget. Although people are saying no ball Suits.
What can I say? It's true.
Okay, let's see. All right, so you've got 2 more questions that you've got to go through here. Okay, for the next question, who is the toughest person on the KVJ show to deal with?
The toughest person on the show.
Most frustrating, yes.
Honestly, you guys don't annoy me too much. I think that we're lucky to have a group like this.
Here we go.
I mean,
Here we go.
spoken like a politician.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess I would say Kevin.
Oh,
But just because he's the boss, he gives me work to do. I mean, that's just the dynamic. I don't have a problem with Kevin.
you get that done?
I mean,
High maintenance.
Sorry, Kev.
oh man, so your answer's high maintenance. High maintenance roasted.
Suits, get in here.
High maintenance roasted.
Where's my coffee?
Just a second, Mr.
But
Ralston.
you don't drink coffee.
Okay. Well, I don't care. Get it to me anyway. I'm gonna
Where's
throw
my
it on
kale?
you. Give me some hot coffee so I can throw it in your face.
And you gotta work on Christmas.
I'm Jewish. It's not a big deal.
I know.
Okay, we've got 2 relationship-related questions. Jay-Bird, do you think it's the one that's outside or the one that's inside?
The one that's going to be the toughest is the one that I probably submitted to you.
Yes, there's one that refers to his outside life, another one that refers to his inside life, meaning here.
You mean his outside life when he's in the Hustler store?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
These are...
Which one do you like better? You want to know about inner office or outer office?
The most uncomfortable question is going to be outer office. The one...
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Wait, look at this one, because this one was for you and we didn't do it. But what if...
You guys are making
we could
me
use
nervous.
that one.
The only thing
is that bad?
The only reason I'd say that's bad for because the audience doesn't know really anybody.
Okay.
They don't get the uncomfortableness with it.
Gotcha.
That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right.
No, you're probably right. I'm not good at this game. All my questions always suck, and that's why I want you two to ask.
Here was the. I don't think you got this question. It was.
Right this is the final question to plead the fifth.
Oh, that's a good one, but I mean, I'm not good at judgment.
Suits is, I'm not good at judging.
Show it to Kevin.
He's got it.
I come up with the worst question.
It was the one about he was something when he got here.
Yeah.
Okay, all
okay, we're going to go with that one then.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Suits, this is your final question to plead the fifth. You do have to answer this. You do. Now, when you started with the KVJ show, you talked about being a virgin, but then somewhere through the course of that, the V card was cashed in.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Now we want to know, since you lost your V card, how many other partners have you had?
Oh.
Okay, so we know of one that you admitted to.
Yeah, and we need names.
I'm just interested to see what...
I didn't hear names as part of that question.
You don't have to give names. Virginia wants to ruin your life. We just want to have fun with it.
Yes. Since you delved into manhood here on the KVJ show, how many other times?
So other times or other people?
People.
Okay,
Kevin,
I was going to say, I don't know if I kept track of every single time.
He marks out his talent.
I'm like,
We know
tally marks.
We know you hit that first one like a rabbit. You're like, this is great.
World record.
It was a good experience, I can't lie.
I know. I met her. She was adorable.
Don't get him started.
How many other partners?
So... I mean, it's not a huge number. I'm not going to act like I've had crazy success since then. I have had 4 partners.
Oh!
Soups!
That's pretty good.
Soups, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of us
I'll
thought
take-
you'd still be at 1.
I knew.
No, it's not one. I've had a few other ones.
I knew it wasn't at 1. That's why I was curious, but I didn't know. Interesting.
See, now don't you wish we had the names?
We really turned Suits into a... I mean, he came here. He didn't really drink.
That's even through a pandemic.
Well, I will admit, it was before the pandemic. It's been a bit of a dry streak.
Dang.
Wow.
Dry streak.
It is what it is.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
All right.
You did good, kid. You did
There you
real
go.
good.
Nice
Yay.
job. That's your questions. Pass on 1 and answer 2.
Played it right.
There you go.
You played it right.
Yeah, you played it exactly right.
And Bird brings the heat, though.
Okay. All right, we got some whacked out news going to be coming up here in just a couple of minutes, including another Florida All-Star. This guy may be one of the greatest of all time, and that's saying a lot, considering we're talking about some really greats coming out of the state of Florida. It has to do with the tattoo that he had on his face, and he loves the state. I'll just let you know that. And Green Day, they're still performing, and they're going to be seen as part of the Super Bowl festivities on Saturday night. If you love Green Day, lock into CBS at 9 o'clock. They're going to be part of the 10th annual NFL Honors that is going to be recognizing the best players and performances of the last season. You got a whole bunch of performers going to be going, including Miley Cyrus, who's doing the first ever TikTok tailgate show. That's going to be Sunday afternoon. And then, of course, you got The Weeknd doing the halftime show.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha-ha, fighting in the nude. Drunk people pooping in the street. Ha-ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people are meth. Ow!
Yeah,
Yesterday was Groundhog Day. Doesn't really affect us in Florida too much, but I know the real groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil, over there in Pennsylvania, did what? Saw a shadow, boom, back in again. Yeah, so 6 more weeks of winter there. Now, apparently there are other places that do this as well, including on Staten Island. But apparently this groundhog's not nearly as good as Punxsutawney Phil.
Get the Staten Island groundhog?
They got a Staten Island groundhog.
I haven't heard of him.
There's probably good reason. First of all, he went against Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh.
And he disagreed, and he's predicting an early spring. And look at what's going on in his own city right now. It doesn't look like that's going to be letting up anytime soon.
How weird. It's arguing with other people.
Yeah. And another reason why this Staten Island Paul doesn't have the same kind of credibility as Punxsutawney Phil.
Staten Island Paul. He names a gopher Paul.
People started looking at the video, and they're looking out their windows and they see snow, and then they're watching the video of the Staten Island groundhog and there's no snow, and they're like, wait a minute, this is pre-recorded. They pre-recorded the Staten Island groundhog, wasn't even on that day, wasn't even at that time. They just staged the whole thing and faked it, and then they got busted.
Damn, Paul is a lie?
So Staten Island Paul is really just a big old liar.
By the way, I made up the name Staten Island Paul, but it should be. Yeah.
That's a great name.
It is a great name.
It's a great name.
I don't know, is Paul a good name for a groundhog?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there's a 19-year-old guy in the UK that got hit by a car on March 1st of last year, and that knocked him into a coma for 11 months. He recently came out of it, but when he did, he had no idea, of course, that there was any kind of global pandemic going on. Imagine that.
Poor guy.
Unfortunately, he's getting a little bit of a crash course because it turns out he caught COVID while he was in the coma.
Damn.
How about that, huh?
Well, that's the way to get it, though. I mean, you slept through it.
Yeah, that's true. He slept through it. He came out of it, and then somehow he caught it again. That guy's got some tough luck, doesn't he?
What?
It's a rough go at it.
Yeah, exactly. What? I don't even know anymore, Virginia. Who knows?
He's from Staten Island. His name's Paul.
Yeah.
He caught it twice in the hospital.
He didn't see a shadow, so that's good news. 22-year-old woman in Illinois got arrested after pouring boiling hot water on her boyfriend while he slept.
What did he do?
Well,
Did he look like a hot dog?
Yeah, he did. He did, yeah. He got some pretty severe burns. She went bragging about it on Snapchat. She wrote, I kind of feel bad now because he got 2nd and 3rd degree burns from face to wrist and they're rushing him to the burn center, but oh well, shrugging shoulder emoji. Bitch. Emoji blowing kiss.
Oh, he cheated.
He definitely cheated.
He definitely cheated.
And still cried and begged me to drive him to the hospital. The guy wound up spending some time in the hospital, 2 weeks in the burn unit.
Both, I mean, if he cheated and she's burned, like they're both awful.
They're both awful, but I mean, damn. She burned him?
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd degree burns. He had to get skin grafts.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't know if he deserved that.
I don't know all the details of the story, but I think it might have been an overreaction.
Got a new Florida Man all-star. A guy in Port Richey got arrested for marijuana possession and misuse of 911 over the weekend after he called 911 looking for a ride home. But even though those are pretty minor crimes, he's a new poster child for Florida Man because in his mugshot, he literally has a map of the state of Florida tattooed between his eyes.
Ooh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that one.
Huh? Yeah.
Look, you went for it, and that I respect.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. 22 pounds of meth were found in a passenger's backpack at the airport in Orlando.
22 pounds? Isn't that like 3 baby Roccos?
No, Rocco's like under 40 pounds, but that's still a lot.
A Rocco and a half.
It's like Rocco a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I got a street value of $500,000.
Dang!
Wow.
That's heavy.
Yeah, that is really actually heavy. So there you go. And another mugshot is going viral. A guy who looks just like Harry Styles got arrested for assault in Pennsylvania. And people are taking note.
Gosh, I wish his name was Larry Styles.
It's not Harry. It just looks like him.
Yeah, it's not. And you're right. Larry Styles would be a great name.
Yeah, amazing.
If you had like a lookalike, though, wouldn't it be fun to hire them to be into your entourage? And then you could just like have fun with people. This is Harry, this is Larry, and throw them all off.
Could be fun.
Oh, I was going to say, let the silence. Let the silence.
It was
linger.
hanging out there.
Yeah.
I bailed her out. You're right.
I would love a look-alike. That'd be so fun. You would too. Just trying to be all coy over there.
Can you imagine the problems the look-alike bird would cause for you?
Oh my gosh, there was a fake Jason.
Yeah.
It caused problems.
It did.
But the one that was under your thumb.
Well,
If you had control of your look-alike and they were on the payroll and you could get them to go to like PTA meetings and stuff you don't want to do,
Yeah,
that'd be
you hate
awesome.
PTA meetings.
Ugh, those are the worst.
Yeah, because I'm so involved in them anyway. What the hell are you talking about? There's a lot of Kevin lookalikes. I don't see a lot of Virginia lookalikes. I believe me, I'm looking for a Virginia lookalike. They ain't out there. But Ralston,
Virginia broke the mold when she got out.
she sure did.
Yes, she did. All right, well, we're talking mugshots. Let's play a fun little round of mugshot or not. What do you say? If you want to call us up, we'll ask you a couple questions, and then we got to guess if you've ever had a mugshot photo or not. So if you've had one, you can call us, and even if you never have, you can also call us.
Me and Suits are the only ones who have not had mugshots on this program.
Yeah, you're right. 877-979-WRMF.
That's all can change. Any given weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Real good chance it's
Peanut
gonna
butter whiskey.
877-979-9763. We're going to play a quick round of mugshot or not next on the KVJ Show. Got some very interesting mugshots in the news today. One guy is an all-star. He is in Port Richey, and he's got the entire state of Florida tattooed right between his eyes. That was in his mugshot. And then there's another guy that is in Pennsylvania. Looks just like Harry Styles. He was arrested for assault. People are going, some fascinating mugshots out there today. So we're going to play a little round of mugshot or not here on the KVJ Show. Now, maybe you did, maybe you didn't have a mugshot. Half our show has, half has not. So we're going to see if there's any kind of telltale signs of the type of person that might have a mugshot. Vicky's on here from Boca. Hello, Vicky.
Good morning, guys.
First off, she's from Boca. I'm leaning no right away. Vicky.
Yeah, I mean, but has she always been in Boca?
You're right. She could be throwing me for a loop there.
I'm a transplant, but I've been here for a long time. I've been down here for like 25 years. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a mugshot in Florida. Though, I guess, was I technically arrested, Virginia? You were with me.
You were detained by the police for a long time.
They got to book you. I've been detained 3 different times, but never booked.
You weren't booked.
Okay.
You weren't booked.
Okay. All right. My question here for Vicky, a transplant in Boca. Have you ever been in a fist fight, Vicky?
No, I have not.
Okay. Not a fighter. Virginia, what's your question for Vicky?
What's your poison, Vicky? You like to drink?
Every once in a while, not too often.
Interesting.
Okay.
During your crazy bender days, tell me, what was the worst drug you did?
Some of the nose candy.
I knew it. I could tell we had a nose candy person on the line.
Yeah, of course, a designer drug.
Yeah, Boca drug. Nose candy.
We only do cocaine in Boca.
We don't mess with low-budget drugs.
And it's got to be pure form.
Yes. I'm going to stick with my original. I'm going to say Vicky does not have a mugshot, Virginia.
I disagree with you, Kevin. I think she does, and I like it.
Jay Bird.
She does, and it was some kind of fight she got with another woman.
Okay. All right. Well, the overriding vote here is that you do have a mugshot. Vicky, do you have a mugshot?
I do.
Nice.
Wow.
I do. And it's from remember when I said I was a transplant? There's a reason I came to Florida. It's because from where I came from. It was a mess up there. Came to Florida, got everything together, got a couple kids now, great job, and everything worked out. But yes, I do have a mugshot. It's just not in Florida.
Okay, so when you were moving from the state you came from, that's when you were on the bender in the former state, not
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
What was your crime? What did they get you for?
Possession.
Oh.
The nose candy.
It was the cocaine?
Correct.
Wow.
She went to Boca because she's like, yeah, won't find any cocaine there.
People are calling it Bocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fascinating
yeah,
stuff.
no, you guys figured it out.
Yeah,
wow, you're a
good for you.
fascinating
Good for you.
lady.
Thank you. I really wanted to stump you guys.
Yeah, well, you got me. I'm easy, though. Wow, how about that? I had the same thing. I had to leave Ohio because I was racking up the charges. If I got another one, I was mandatory 10 days in jail.
Whoa, from all the cocaine?
Yeah. They don't have cocaine in Ohio.
Is that straight
At least
up?
not where I'm from.
Is it more meth?
Oh my gosh. It's like hillbilly heroin. It's like Oxys. God. We're doing dime store drugs there. We're doing the kind of stuff you make in your bathroom.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. We have got Stephanie from Palm Springs to play Mugshot or Not. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to ask you a couple questions. Guess if you got a mugshot or not. My question, have you ever put a cigarette out on anyone, Stephanie?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Virginia, what's your question?
Tell me about the worst guy you ever dated.
Dang it, that was going to be my question.
Well, I read your mind. Bye.
Oh, that's a hard one. I've never really dated any bad guys. I've hooked up with some that were like drug dealers.
Okay.
But not dated.
Okay, so she likes to bang drug dealers.
For product?
My turn?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no. All right, yes, Bird, your question.
Besides yourself, who is the biggest criminal in your family? What did they do?
My uncle who got a DUI.
Your uncle got a DUI. Okay, so they're a lawless bunch, Virginia.
Running the streets.
Okay, Stephanie with a mugshot, yay or nay? What do you say, Virginia?
I'm going to go nay.
Okay. Bird?
Definitely has a mugshot, and she's not going to give us all the details, but it's a pretty good one.
It's a pending case?
Well, I'm not saying it's pending. They might have settled out of court, Virginia.
She's playing coy. I'm going to lean on no on this. That would make majority vote no mugshot. Stephanie, do you have a mugshot?
A few of them, yes.
Wow!
A
Stumped her.
few!
She's got mug voice.
Wow.
Dang, she tricked me.
What have you gotten them for?
Pawning stolen property and possession.
Wow.
Was it the cocaine?
No.
Was it weed?
No. It's worse than both of those.
Heroin?
The H?
Yes.
Oh.
Made it count.
Yep.
We got
That was the one.
got a lively audience.
I hope you got off that stuff, girl.
I am almost 6 years sober and have a 4-year-old now.
Good for
Nice.
you.
Very
Yay.
nice. Yay. Okay.
Awesome.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much. Wow, we got two ladies with mugshots.
I love it.
Okay.
Cocaine and the heroin.
Let's go with Steve in Port St. Lucie.
Steve, you better bring that A
I
game.
know. Steve better be on some kind of hard drug.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. First question for Steve. Steve, are you noticeably missing any teeth?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Got all his teeth. Virginia, what's your question?
Have you ever been told to never come back to a place, thrown out and banned for life?
No.
Okay.
Tell me about a few times you lost your temper when you were playing some kind of pickup game with people. I know what happened.
I never really lost my temper when I played in pickup games. I have lost my temper when my kids have been playing in games and they haven't been they weren't refereed properly.
Okay. Runs
Okay.
a little hot.
Yeah. He gets a little bit of dad drama, but that's the most excitement Steve's got.
I'm with you.
Dude's got no mugshot. There's not a chance. Bird, what do you think?
No mugshot.
Virginia?
Yeah, I'm going no mugshot.
Okay, it's unanimous on this one. No mugshot. Steve, do you have a mugshot or not?
Yeah.
Oh!
3.
Dang. What'd you get a mugshot for, Steve?
Mail fraud, wire fraud.
Oh, white collar
mail
crime.
fraud, wire fraud. He went white collar on us.
Yeah.
See, our mind's stuck in this blue collar nonsense. The gritty stuff. He's doing the high end stuff.
I got a question. I have a question.
I got all 3 of you. I got all 3 of you.
Yeah, you did.
You did. When you were in prison, tell us, what did you eat? What do they serve you in a white collar prison?
You, for the most part, you eat out of your locker because you don't want to eat the trash that they serve you.
Really?
So it's trashy food.
Commissary type food, like bags of chips and such.
Yep. Bags of chips, bags of tuna fish, jalapenos, crackers. That's what you survived on.
Well, that's the worst part of prison.
Yeah, you better not get thrown in there, Bird.
The food is slop.
I hate jalapenos. That's all I had to eat.
How about that? Well, nice job there, Steve. I did terrible. I think I missed all of them. I didn't think we'd have such a lawless bunch of listeners out there.
I love it.
I got to relearn KVJ Nation. My gosh, they're all criminals.
They're spicy.
Yeah.
It keeps it fun.
We're all reform grade, just like us.
Wow. I'm kind of shocked by that group we had just had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody had a mugshot today. How about that? Coming up here in a couple minutes, boy, Miami and crime, man. And you're talking about that designer drug that Boca loves so much. Miami loves it as well. There's a lot of cocaine stories I got coming up for y'all. This is the story about Miami, and this is the final town we're going to do in this series right now. We've been every single week breaking down the town, letting you know kind of how it got going, and then some of the big scandals, some of the big celebrities that call Miami home. And got some interesting stories that people were telling, the landmark moments in the history of Miami we got for you coming up next.
Your decision-making skills are on point. You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
So today we're going to be telling the story of Miami. What are the stories that everybody knows? What makes it interesting? What's its history? What's the biggest scandals, celebrities, things like that?
It's so funny you bring this up today because I'm going to Miami this weekend.
You are?
Yeah.
Gonna do
I
some
haven't
cocaine?
been down there in a while.
Yeah?
Well, if it plays out right.
Okay. All
Little
right.
sushi and cocaine.
Yeah.
You want to maybe go down to Sobe, spend $90 on a drink?
They go well together.
I'm not buying. I'm meeting my friend who moved down there. And so
Okay.
he's treating me to lunch.
Who is
Beautiful.
this? Who's this joker?
His name's Mark. He's got a car and 2 dogs. Okay. What do we need to cover with Miami? We will talk about cocaine. It's going to be a big part of Miami's past, present, and future, probably.
Murder. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with the cocaine, but there's other murder stuff that's involved in Miami.
Well, kind of first to just kind of lay out some of the facts about Miami, how it got going, and just so you know, it is the 7th largest city in the country, 3rd tallest skyline that we've got. So you're looking at Manhattan, I think it's then Chicago, and then Miami is now 3rd.
Wow.
Biggest skyline in the United States of America with over 300 high-rises.
And it's always like under construction. There's always huge buildings going up.
Yeah,
I feel
always.
I feel like they're making them too big in Miami. It's like, guys, tone it down. They don't have to be that tall.
They got a lot of international dollars, and if you watch Cocaine Cowboys, a lot of those tall buildings are built on cocaine money.
Wow.
In a sense, we say thank you to our cocaine brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Miami ranks as the 3rd richest city in the United States and 8th richest in the world. Wow. So there's a lot of money. In fact, Brickell Avenue is the largest concentration of international banks anywhere in the United States.
Do you remember what you were paying a month at Brickell? I know you had an apartment there. Do you happen to know?
No, I didn't. I was in Coconut Grove.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the rent was there?
No.
You don't?
Not at all.
All right. Well, I'll just sit here and drink my drink.
Any other questions you want to ask him to that stopped the show?
I have a few, but I'm going to not ask them right now.
If you look at those banks on Brickell Avenue, a lot of them were holding cocaine money.
Really?
When the trade got going.
And they knew it?
Well, that was it. They started to find out when they started digging a little bit deeper, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is cocaine money and things like that." But yeah, that's they were prominent early there in the '80s with holding a lot of Colombian drug cartel money.
Do you think some of that's still going on where there's cocaine money tied into
Absolutely.
the buildings?
Without a doubt.
How does that work? Like, if you're insured by the FDIC and you're basically like getting that from the government. If the government knows that you know it's cocaine money, can you be in trouble?
I imagine there's some trouble to go around. It's just proving that it is. And so they always try to do stuff to hide it and launder it, Virginia. That's what it's all about, trying to make it legit.
And who's to say the government or the feds involved trying to bring them down aren't involved as well, getting a little piece?
Are you saying the feds are in on the cocaine?
I think I did to say that, yeah.
Port Miami, busiest cruise port in the world. Suits would know that, with both passenger traffic and cruise lines together. So that's pretty amazing that that is here in South Florida. Going all the way back, the only people who used to be hanging out in Miami was the old Tequesta tribe, Virginia.
Ah, the Indians.
Yes.
Yes.
For about 2,000 years, they were all that was going on in Miami. And then here come the Europeans. And then the Tequesta Indians, they took off and went to Cuba. By the 1700s, all the Tequesta Indians were pretty much gone.
Wow.
In 1836, they put up Fort Dallas there on the banks of the Miami River, and it's actually the river that gives Miami, the city, its name. It's not the other way around. And then Julia Tuttle, do you know who she is? You know she's got that causeway there.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why is that?
The city is basically hers. She made it all happen. She was a local citrus grower, and she originally owned the land that the city of Miami was built on. She got Henry Flagler to say, hey, bring that railway all the way down here. It started to boom in population, and she's now known as the mother of Miami and is the only major city in the United States that is founded by a woman. That's Miami, and Julia Tuttle is the founder of the city.
No wonder they gave her the causeway.
Yeah, she deserves at least that, right?
Yeah.
Surprised you never heard of Jay Tuts. You being a woman?
No, I've never heard of Jay Tuts. I ran that half marathon in Miami, though, over the Julia Tuttle Causeway.
Yeah.
Going up is horrible. Going down is great.
Always.
Oh, my gosh. Going up was like, I want to jump.
Mm-hmm. And I've always wondered this, you know, they have the Magic City Casino in Miami, and they always call it the Magic City. Why is that? Well, apparently Miami started to grow so quickly when they started to get all these snowbirds that every time the snowbirds would show up, they're like, this city's like magically growing because it was getting bigger and bigger every single year. It was growing that rapidly, and that's how it has the name the Magic City.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then Fidel Castro came into power in 1959 in Cuba. And then Miami's population grew a lot more after that. Remember the whole boat lift that they did?
Yes.
Emptied the prisons and dropped them off, and they were basically sleeping underneath a lot of the expressways in downtown Miami. The most fascinating stuff and what they make TV shows and movies out of is the drug issues that have happened in Miami. They had a massive cartel war that broke out in the late 70s. In fact, people have talked about the shootout that happened at the Dadeland Mall. 2 Colombian cartel soldiers shot 2 men at a liquor store right in broad daylight with machine guns.
Dang.
People were just out shopping. In fact, 4 people died that day. 6 were injured in it. And they just couldn't believe how brazen these guys were that in broad daylight they whip out machine guns and start spraying bullets at the mall.
They do that in traffic. They didn't care. That's what was creepy about it.
Yeah.
Like you're saying daylight, and then all of a sudden there's like 9 guys with machine guns. It's
horrifying.
Yeah.
That's what changed, and that really started off. In fact, it was from that one of the Miami police officers called them cocaine cowboys. And then the moniker stuck, and now when you talk about the cartel guys in the 80s in Miami, they're called cocaine cowboys.
I always forget her name, but the cocaine woman, she was even arguably worse
Griselda or whatever.
She was more ruthless than Escobar, in my opinion.
Yeah, she was one of the pioneers in cocaine trafficking. She's a Colombian drug lord, Griselda Blanco. They're going to be making more movies about her. She's responsible for more than 200 murders.
Wow.
From the documentary, and you don't know how much of it's true or not, they said she was killing people just for something just so small. They cut her off in traffic. Kill them.
Dang.
Somebody
She
cut
lost
her
her mind.
sandwich diagonally, and she wanted to cut across the middle. Curtains.
Done.
It's heavy.
They cut them in half, just like the sandwich.
Damn.
Yeah. She was assassinated in Colombia in 2012. So she gone. But, boy, they had a lot of cocaine issues that were going on with other people, too. The Falcon brothers, Sal Magluta, smuggled apparently $2 billion worth of cocaine from Colombia in that time period starting in the late 70s. And they say in 1981 there was so much violence from cocaines wars that were going on, that they had to bring in a freezer truck because there was over 600 murders in the city in 1982, and they didn't have enough room in the morgue, so they were just putting them in cooler trucks outside. They were getting shot so fast.
Was it just an isolated part of Miami, or was it through the entire city?
Well, a lot of it was, down around town and things like that, and you never knew where it was going on. I mean, Dadeland, you're talking about the southwest in Miami, and so you never knew where the drug violence was going to pop up. A lot of it actually happened in Coconut Grove. Not necessarily the violence, but the planning. There was a hotel there called the Mutiny, and they had a nightclub there, and that's where all the cartel guys would hang out. They say they were doing all kinds of drug deals there. In fact, if you see the Babylon Hotel in Oliver Stone's movie Scarface about the drug trade in Miami, it's based on the Mutiny.
Oh.
So you would go in the Mutiny on any kind of given night. Rick James would be in there. Philip Michael Thomas of Miami Vice. Miami Dolphins players would be in there, and just all kinds of cartel leaders.
I'm sure Rick James is not at all doing cocaine.
Oh, he loved cocaine.
Of course you're going to find Rick James there.
They say in 1981, Miami was responsible for trafficking 70% of the country's cocaine and 70% of its marijuana. That's how much drugs were going through Miami in 1981.
That's insane. 70%?
Yeah, 70% of all the cocaine goes through or was going through Miami at the time. In 82, it changed because they busted $100 million worth of cocaine at Miami International. It was hidden in a hangar there, and President Reagan's like, all right, enough's enough. He stepped up and started the South Florida Drug Task Force and assigned it to George Bush to take over and to run it. And then that's when the whole, remember, Just Say No and the war on drugs and all that stuff started. That was pretty much it. And after Pablo's death in the early 90s, the Medellin cartel has pretty much fallen off, and the drug war is not what it used to be. But, man, there's a lot of interesting films to make from that era.
Did Escobar die before Griselle or Giselle?
He died a year after. She was assassinated in Colombia she was assassinated in 2012. He was assassinated in 93, I think it was, wasn't it?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he went 9 years ahead of her.
That's crazy. It took them so long to get...
I think she was kind of out of the game. She was I think they capped her out front of just a drugstore in Colombia. They finally got to her. She was called the Black Widow because she would kill a lot of her husbands or love interests.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
You got to look into her story. She makes Pablo look like a Boy Scout, in my opinion.
Yeah, she would cut people up, put their body parts in boxes, and just chuck them on the side of the road in Miami.
Well, even the people dealing with her that were criminals too. Like you're going about this. You're going too hard. You're going too fast.
You're too much.
You're too much. You're ruining relationships.
Yeah. So needless to say, when you think about Miami film and TV, you're thinking about TV shows like Miami Vice, Scarface. There's a lot of drug themes that run through that. But also, Miami's given birth to Dexter. That was a big show. Burn Notice. I remember they were filming that in Coconut Grove. Jane the Virgin, The Birdcage, one of Virginia's favorite movies.
I love The Birdcage.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Oh, yeah.
That is another one.
That's Panda's favorite.
Was the alleged... I mean, I say alleged because I don't think he was on bath salts, but the whole face eating thing, was that in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, that's something where a lot of people still bring up about South Florida.
Yeah, that was the known as the Causeway Cannibal Attack.
And did the guy die?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's really kind of interesting to get other people's takes on their stories of Miami. Corrine said, yeah, I lived through all the cocaine cowboy stuff. Our house in Miami was rented by Colombian drug lords. My father was in his car right in front of that big Dadeland shootout, and he had to hide under the dashboard as they were firing off the machine guns.
Gosh.
Crazy stuff, huh? Eileen said, my biggest memory is the Gianni Versace murder that happened on his front steps of his South Beach home by Andrew Cunanan in 1997.
Yeah, that was a crazy story. And that documentary they did about that whole thing, that piece was good.
Yeah.
I watched it. I loved it.
I didn't even know about this. Shell said the murder of Bernice Novak, the former owner of the Fontainebleau, and her son Ben Novak.
Oh, it's a great story. I love the Novak murder.
Well,
that was featured on Dateline.
Wow.
Yes.
Do we know who did it? Do you know any other details about it?
She did it.
Oh, whoa.
I hate to ruin it for you.
I got to look that up then. I didn't know about that one. And Jennifer said all the tourist murders that happened in the 90s, car rental companies stopped putting their logos on cars so they weren't such an easy target.
Okay, that's smart.
Dang. And then, of course, a lot of people were talking about Hurricane Andrew that came through August 24th of 1992, mainly through Homestead, but, through southern Miami as well. Panda, on her Facebook page, she had put that our house was the only one left standing because it was built of concrete.
Wow.
In a 6-block radius, every house was gone. We just had some roof damage. We couldn't get back into Homestead for 2 weeks, and when we did, the freezer had been off. Maggots were all over the kitchen from the meat that had thawed. It smelled of rotten milk. She said we had to shower with a hose that was coming through the bathroom window, and we were eating corned beef from the Salvation Army every day for a month. We finally went to my godparents' home in Pensacola, and it took us 18 hours to get through due to traffic.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. So just some of the stories of Miami, and it's got quite a past. Telling the story of Miami, and I don't know if there's many towns in America, New York, Chicago, possibly, that has a more amazing story than Miami, and there's just so much stuff to fill in the blanks with. Somebody said in 1933, Franklin Roosevelt was almost assassinated in Miami. The mayor of Chicago actually was killed when the assassin missed FDR.
Whoa.
How about that? I didn't even know about that.
I didn't either.
That's insane. Somebody had said, too, that the Tequesta Indians were actually enslaved and sent to Cuba in the 1700s. Cuba was a slave port where they would sell slaves. So that's what happened to them. They had been here for 2,000 years until here come the Europeans. Also, somebody said you can't talk about Miami without mentioning Don Aronow. He was the king of the powerboats. Donzi, Apache, Cigarette One, Magnum, and Formula were all started by him and all on the same street, 188th Street, and he was murdered in 1988 by one of his competitors.
Wow.
Dang.
I always talk about that serial killer, Christopher Wilder. His first victim was in Miami, and that started off a complete chain reaction of murders.
And he went north.
He went north, and he killed a few Florida girls.
Wow.
He was at there was some race. It was a race event down in Miami, Grand Prix something.
Oh, really?
And she was a model there, and he was there acting and posing as a photographer and kidnapped
They do
her.
that a lot.
I know.
They pretend to be like model scouts or photographers, and they trick these girls.
And when someone would refuse, and then he'd still like hit him over the head and bring him in the car.
Horrifying.
Somebody said, don't forget about the big steroid cover-up with baseball. That originated in Miami. There's a documentary about it.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Been a lot of fascinating stories. Phil is on here from Davie. Interesting one. You say you used to work in South Miami at a florist and used to get some interesting shipments there, Phil.
Yes, yeah, hey, I like your show. I listen to it as much as I can.
Thank you.
I'm freezing right now. But, yeah, I worked in a florist plant store in South Miami in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And we used to get this Colombian guy come in, and he used to buy $200 to $300 worth of silk plants for his son's teacher every so often. Mm-hmm. And when Reagan started the crackdown, he disappeared. He's like, I wonder what happened to him. And in that same florist shop, we used to get, roses for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. And one year we could not get the roses. They were all stuck in customs because I don't know how they did it in Colombia, but they had little packets of cocaine in the ice cubes. And customs found that. And we could not get any roses for Mother's Day. So other, people from across the country would call the FTD floral service for us to deliver roses. Sorry, we don't have roses. They're all in customs. Yeah.
Wow, that's smart though. Yeah. Think about that. You have a little packet of cocaine, you freeze some water around it, and
nothing says Mother's Day like, "Here, Mom, here's some cocaine."
Wow, I wouldn't even think of that.
I know. That's smart. Thank you, Phil. That's some fascinating stuff. Somebody wanted to let you know too. The Miami cannibal victim is alive. It was the attacker that is dead.
Okay. The victim lived?
Wow.
Yeah. Good.
Victim lived, attacker. That's right. I think they shot
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's how it went down. It's been years now.
It has been.
People also saying TV shows, movies, CSI Miami. Don't forget about that. And True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis, filmed in Miami in 93, 94. Somebody texted in and said, I used to watch them film the scene with the airplane hanging off the top of the building. It was near where I worked downtown.
Nobody's saying Revenge of the Nerds Part 2, Nerds Lost in Paradise? No one's saying that?
No. Yeah. Major oversight, huh?
I forgot about that movie.
Everyone has.
Don't forget about the Miami celebrities: Pitbull, Flo Rida, DJ Khaled, Lil Wayne, Jennifer Lopez, A-Rod, Mark Anthony, Enrique Iglesias, and Anna Kournikova.
Gloria
Estefan there. Shakira, Ricky Martin, Pharrell, David Beckham.
Marlon's got
a place there.
Marlon's got a couple championships.
Yeah, Marlon's got 2 World Series.
They do.
The Heat have got 3 championships. The Hurricanes, Miami Hurricanes, they have 5 championships. Would have had 6 if they hadn't lost to the Buckeyes. I got all the Canes fans trolling me right now. When are you going to talk about that Buckeye story? Yeah, sorry you don't have 6. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. All right, anything else you need to troll us about? 877-979-WRMF. You can hit us up on the story of Miami.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Still some loose ends. I mean, there's just so much stuff to mention with Miami and the history and all the stories that have come out of it. Kathy had said, hey, don't forget Elian Gonzalez in the year 2000. I remember that. Virginia, we were new to South Florida. And I'm like, we got here. I'm like, this place is crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah. That was nuts. That's kind of how we started off. Also, Grant said, don't forget about the parental advisory on music. That whole thing started with 2 Live Crew in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all that stuff going on? That was an interesting time, too, because, you had the Canes that were doing great in college football, and you had Uncle Luke, and he was tied into the Canes program, and the music was out, and just what an amazing era for Miami. And then you still had, kind of the remnants of the Cocaine Cowboys kicking around. Other shows we forgot. How do you forget about Bad Boys? Bad Boys filmed in Miami. The movie.
Yes, the movie.
TV show Ballers for several seasons was filmed in Miami with The Rock. The Pain and Gain movie based on a true story from Miami.
That's right. The Ballers had The Rock in it, and it had Jesse Furman, my childhood friend. Did a quick,
that's right,
like a 30-second scene.
I saw that. He was good in it. Yeah. Somebody said, watch Speed Kills. It's a John Travolta movie about that speedboat drug lord in Miami.
Oh.
Okay, that we had mentioned. Some fascinating stuff. We do need to mention the Miami Dolphins, because you're right. I kind of thought, well, they're Miami Gardens, but yeah, they were playing in the Orange Bowl when they went undefeated in 72. So the Dolphins had, that Super Bowl win there. And Miami itself has hosted 10 different Super Bowls, 5 of which were held at the Orange Bowl. 5 have been at the newer Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens.
How many championships do the Dolphins have? Just that one?
I think they just got the one in 72. Maybe it was another one. I don't know.
They'll let you know if you get it wrong.
Yeah, the show's over, so. Yeah, that's one I didn't look up. So they've got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ask. I mean, of course, I asked the one question.
I mean, you brought the show to a screeching halt.
Wow.
Great job there, Pennington.
Well, you're right,
he's
because
still
I'm gonna have to get the answer.
I didn't mean
2.
to do
They got 2.
Okay.
Sorry, 74 and 73.
I didn't mean to ruin everything again.
That's all right. Another story that we need to mention here, and Charles had hit me up. He said, one thing that had happened was in 1986, there was the shooting of the FBI agents. He said, that was in my neighborhood. People thought it was a scene from Miami Vice when it was going on. And I actually saw that. They had that on the news in Miami last night. They were showing that exact plaque. They've put up a plaque for the agents that lost their life. And you look at the neighborhood and the area, and nothing about it looks odd. It just goes to show you never know where violence is going to happen. And the reason why they were showing that event that had happened on April 11th of 1986, where 2 FBI agents were shot and killed, is people were asking yesterday, they're like, hey, what's going on in Sunrise? There's some crazy stuff going on, and we're doing the show, and I didn't hear and didn't know. And the news came out last night, and it's so sad. 2 FBI agents, both married with children. They lost their lives. They went in to break up some scumbags doing child pornography, and he sees on a Ring doorbell they're coming, and he just starts blazing with the guns and starts shooting like crazy. Killed 2 agents. By the time they got to him, he was dead. But Daniel Alphen and Laura Schwarzenberger, I know Laura had been on the news before doing so much stuff, just doing the Lord's work, breaking up all these awful, awful child pornography rings that were going on. And so very sad to hear that. They say it's the deadliest day for the FBI since 9/11.
Damn.
And they say it's the first time 2 agents were gunned down in the line of duty in more than 30 years. So, and sorry that it happened again in South Florida. But there you go. I just want to take a moment to wrap up today's show by making note of that. It's kind of hard to squeeze sometimes the tough news into the KVJ show, but definitely don't want to go without mentioning that.
Amen.
After the show podcast going to be coming up here on Facebook and YouTube. And Jay-Bird going to spin back into the positive here with his thought for the day.
You either suffer the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret.
Damn, Bird. Good stuff. Good, Bird. Good stuff.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.